right, Coach, a very nice win over Gardner-Webb. Your defense shut them out, limited them to about 150 total yards of offense. Or when you went back in and looked at the film, what did your defense do so well?
Well, I think the big thing that they did, everyone fit their gap. 11 hats were always chasing the football, and we were able to make Gardner-Webb one-dimensional. We stopped the run, forced them to throw probably more than they wanted to. It was a night that a little moist, probably a little bit tougher to throw the ball, ball being slick and things like that. And so we ended up having a shutout, which I don't care who you're playing against. If you shut somebody out, you've done something in this day and time as far as football goes. There's so many teams that are out there. There was one team I saw last night, and I was just looking at scores. They scored 96 points in a game, college game. And so this spread, gun stuff, no huddle, and you shut somebody out, that's a special day.
Your linebacking core seemed to have an excellent night. And here's a core that only has one senior, Drake Michelson. Everybody else, sophomores, freshmen. Right. Talk about their development so far and how good they can be as a group looking ahead.
Well, I think any time that you have young guys that are talented and young guys that have a great deal of want-to, and you have a group of kids that have a outstanding position coach, and Coach Gasparotto does everything that he can do to make sure that those guys are prepared. Those guys really care for one another. They encourage each other. Doesn't matter who's in. We basically got 2.5 sets of them. And it's fun to watch those guys. It's fun when they square up on a guy and knock them back. Linebacking play is an art where you got to be physical enough to take on a 300-pound lineman. You got to be agile enough to drop in a seam and carry a tight end or a receiver. So our guys played well.
Offensively, you managed 1 touchdown, 3 David Marvin field goals. What offensively was clicking, and what needs to improve now looking ahead to conference play?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we've got to do is just continue to work with the offense. There were plays that we had the opportunity to score on. We had one that we caught. The guy goes in the end zone, hits the ground, the ball pops out, and evidently they ruled it wasn't a catch. We've got to make sure that next time he holds on to it. I guess that's how it goes. We had some passes that we let get away. We had some situations as far as on the perimeter. We didn't block it as clean as we needed to. Instead of having big runs, we'd have a 5-yard gain. So there's always something to work on. If you interview me next week, I'll tell you there's something else to work on. So that's just the nature of the beast.
TJ Chamberlain may be available to play on offensive line this week. He has not played in the first 4 games. He's your most veteran player. What will he add if he's available?
Well, a great deal of experience, first and foremost. He has been out. He was injured. He had a situation with his leg. He has since gotten over it. He's worked hard. He's been running. He's been pushing sleds. He's been doing a lot of things, but he hadn't been playing football. And it's going to take a little bit for him to get acclimated and get back into it. But he's definitely hungry. He wants to be in there so bad, and he's excited about having the opportunity to get back in the lineup. And he feels mentally that he's ready. After we put him out there on the field and let him go about a 10 or 15 play drive, he may not quite feel as chipper, but we're going to give him a shot if he gets the okay.
Mercer is coached by Bobby Lamb. Now, when he was at Furman, they ran a lot of power, the typical Furman eye set. He's not doing that as much at Mercer. What are they doing offensively? What will be the big challenges for you guys defensively this week?
Well, they do a lot of things, quite frankly. They're into the gun stuff. They're into the read option progression, where it's either a run or a pass off of it. They'll run some toss. They'll do multiple things. Bobby does a great job with coming up with things that really try to break down defenses. And if he can, he's going to find a weakness, and he's going to exploit that weakness. It may be from a formation, it may be from a certain motion, it may be from a personnel grouping, but he's going to find a way to try to take advantage as much as he can. And what we've got to do is see if we don't allow that to happen.
Now, Alex Lakes is their returning all-conference running back, but he's not their leading ball carrier right now. They have a fellow named T. Mitchell who's averaging over 100 yards per game carrying the ball. What does he look like on film?
Fast. He's shifty. He's a strong runner. He finishes his runs, and good player, really good player.